we're going to do a lesson on the first section of the fourth form. It's the first section, then we have a few kicks, and then we repeat the movements. So what we're going to be doing is a lopsal, or a pulling hand. So the first move, we're going to step back. Technically, I'd be going this way if that's front, but I'm going to turn sideways so you can see better. I'm going to step back into a back stance. My front hand is doing an outside-inside block, okay, as if I was to block here. But it's actually going to block, and it's actually, really I'm pulling it back to strike with it. It's blocking, but it doesn't have to because I'm using both hands to block, essentially. So while this hand is doing this outside-inside block motion, so this is like a jab or a straight punch, I'm stepping back and knocking to the side. Specifically, this is like a jab where I'm reaching. Otherwise, I wouldn't need to step back to do this. So we're stepping back, throwing this outside-inside block to deflect an arm this way. So we're going to be back and slightly on this side of the arm. The back hand is doing an inside-outside block, sort of, but not really. It's going to be a lopsal. I try to do quotations, but it doesn't work with one hand, and it's just a little buddy. So we're going to go in like this, like an inside-outside block, but I'm actually grabbing the wrist, and I'm not trying to catch it out of the air. I'm using this as if I blocked and then slid down and would catch on the wrist. So that type of motion. Now this is intended to be on the outside of the arm on this side, so we block down and grab the wrist here. However, we could do this on the inside. It's just not as safe because from the inside, I can't defend myself from the opposite side. So if I punch this way and you do this block on the inside, this hand is still coming if you've committed two hands here. So there's always a follow-up attack if you end up in that position. If we're on the outside, we don't really have to worry so much about this hand. With the striking hand, we'll be able to pick that up. So we're going to step back. This is blocking. This is blocking. Now, the timing on which goes first isn't such a big deal. I throw them basically at the same time, right? And then this comes up and over. So this is grabbing. This comes up and over because I'm pulling it back to strike with it. So I'm stepping back, I'm blocking, I've created distance, and then I'm moving back in. The first part of the form is a hammer fist. So closed hand, I'm swinging my hammer fist horizontally in this way. We're aiming for generally to the jaw, to the mouth, to the nose, to the bottom half of the face. 1, 2, okay? And this is pulling their other arm. So this hand would be punching, and then we're grabbing it, pulling it while we throw the hammer fist. Now, if something happens, say I block and I miss this hand entirely, I can still step in and throw this strike and then grab the wrist. So if they punched and pulled back, let's say I blocked, they went off to the side, but then they pulled their hand back, I'm still moving in to hit. And whether it's up or down, once I move in, I can use my other hand to grab that wrist again. So I can move here, move in, grab it, and then pull it down while I'm striking. So both of those movements are lopsal. Whether I'm catching their hand out here and pulling it, or it's up here and I'm pulling it to move it out of my way, they're both lopsal, which is his pulling hand. So we step back, we throw the outside in, inside out, lopsal, and then I move in when I strike because I've created a lot of distance. If they are not real committed to that punch, I'm going to be really far away, and if I want to hit them, I'll have to move forward. If they're a little bit closer, then it's not such a big deal. We do a couple kicks after that, and then we come back to it with an open hand. So it's the exact same movement, but we do with a knife hand strike. Instead, the knife hand is good for like right under the nose, could be to the neck. Not so much, I'm not aiming for the mouth. If I throw that with a hammer fist, I might. So, and if they punch and their head is turned here, then I'm going to be hitting the side of the head anyways. So either way, I'd be aiming at the jaw. So the whole movement, 1, 2.